Perfect. Hello, welcome to this webinar. My name is Isabella, and along with Mark, we will be talking about creating an accessibility page and statement. Okay, so the accessibility commitment statement is a clear public declaration of your organization's values when it comes to digital accessibility, and that you're working towards making inclusive access for all users, including those with disabilities. Standards and guidelines, always mention the accessibility standards that you're aiming to meet, whether that's WCAG 2.1 or 2.2, and if applicable, include the laws and regulations you comply with, so ADA, EA, things like that. Provide contact methods for reporting barriers, provide a simple and accessible way to users to report these issues, and make sure that this channel is monitored and responses are always prompt. Um, Next is the accommodation request process. Let users know how to request assistance or accommodations. Explain what they can expect when submitting a request, such as the time frame for a response. We have ongoing accessibility efforts. Share the steps that you're actively taking to improve accessibility, such as current audits going on, trainings, or assistive technology testing that you have. Highlight your commitment to continuous improvement as well. Have an accessibility advocate or a responsible party. Identify who's responsible for accessibility at your organization. It can be a role or a team. And then this helps add that accountability and point of contact for questions. And also have feedback invitation. Invite users to share feedback, even if they don't encounter a barrier. This helps foster an environment of collaboration and trust with the users.
Hey, Isabella, can you close out that turn on reactions window at the top there?
Oh, yeah. Oof. Is that gone?
Yep, thank you.
Okay, sweet, sweet. Okay, so to continue on, what is an accessibility page? An accessibility page is a dedicated part of your website that communicates your commitment to digital accessibility. It's a central place for users to find important accessibility information, such as your accessibility statement, helpful resources for all users, and contact information for the accessibility advocate or team. It also is a place where you can have transparency and accountability when it comes to accessibility. Okay, what is the accessibility statement? An accessibility statement um, is a formal declaration of your organization's current accessibility efforts and goals. It often includes technical details of the website, standards it aims to follow, known issues within the website, and contact info for your accessibility or support team. An accessibility statement can often be found within your accessibility page or as a standalone document. And here's an example of our accessibility statement. Okay.
So where should your accessibility page be located? So a good best practice is to include a link to your accessibility page in your website's footer. So the screenshot on the slide here is showing the IAAP site highlighting the accessibility component in the footer beside the status component. This is the most common location, right alongside links like privacy policy, terms of service, and contact us. Adding it here ensures it's consistently available across your entire site, no matter what page a user is on. So making sure the link uses the word accessibility is key for users who use screen readers and other assistive technologies, because they can quickly search for that term on the page and jump directly to it. And the main goal here is to make it easy as possible for someone who encounters a barrier on your site to find help. If something isn't working for a user, whether it's a form, a video, or any other feature, they should be able to locate the accessibility page right away, report the issue, and request an accommodation if needed. So this is a simple step that can go a long way in supporting a more inclusive and responsive user experience.
So how do users with disabilities interact with your accessibility page? They visit your accessibility page when they encounter a barrier. They will look for a clear way to report the issue or request an accommodation. They expect a prompt and helpful response from your team. They may provide details to help replicate the issue, and your team should log the issue within RAMP and start a remediation process. And here we have a example of our reporting an issue form. So, key elements of an accessibility page. It has to prominently feature your accessibility statement. It should include the accessibility feedback form, which it allows for accessibility concerns to be prioritized and not put in a different customer support process. It should contain the contact information for your accessibility advocate or support team. The contact information allows for help with specific accessibility questions and accommodation requests. It's also really important to offer multiple means of contact to reduce any barriers in the process. We have help resources, so your website might contain helpful information for users, such as user guides, keyboard shortcuts, and accessibility trainings. Having all this information on the accessibility page can make it easier for all users to find it in one spot. The specific accessibility laws. To show your efforts towards accessibility, the page should mention the regional laws and the WCAG conformance level that the website is trying to meet. And then the name of tools used for accessibility. Different automated and manual audit tools may provide slightly different results. By providing information on the tools used for accessibility, it can show a further commitment to maintaining accessibility.
So to make things easier, we offer a free accessibility statement generator, and this will give you a solid starting point with a structured templated statement you can build on. So once we have some screenshots here taken from our statement generator, showing the form fields that need to be filled in. It's a simple generator or simple template where you can enter the information about your business, website application, conformance status, website technology, and WCAG assessment. And the generator will outline in HTML your dedication to complying with accessibility regulations. It's going to highlight the measures you've taken already and provide users with options on how to report accessibility issues. It's important to note, though, that this feature was created a few years ago, and we're currently working on updates to modernize it. But even in its current state, it's a great tool to help you get started quickly. And so once you've got your draft from our generator, a great next step is to run it through an AI tool like ChatGPT or any other writing assistant you prefer to use. And you can use specific prompts to match the tone and voice of your brand, to refine or expand the technical descriptions, and make the statement feel a bit more human and approachable. And this is also an easy way to make your statement feel more tailored and without writing it all from scratch. And a short note on legal advice. So your accessibility statement is a public-facing document, which means it reflects your organization's values, commitments, and legal responsibilities. Because of this, it's highly recommended, if not essential, to have your legal counsel review the statement before it goes live. This review helps ensure that you're not unintentionally making claims or commitments that could be considered overpromising, particularly when it comes to legal compliance, technical standards, or specific timelines for remediation. For large organizations or those operating in highly regulated industries like healthcare, finance, or government, legal oversight becomes even more critical. The stakes are higher, and the potential legal implications of an inaccurate or vague accessibility statement can be significant. So taking this step not only protects your organization, but also strengthens your credibility of your commitment to accessibility. So when should you create your accessibility page? Well, today. You don't want to wait for perfection. Putting up your accessibility page now sends a clear message that you're committed to progress and you're open to feedback. Even if your site isn't fully compliant yet, a live accessibility page gives users a way to report barriers and request accommodations right now. It lets them know they're seen, heard, and supported, even as you continue making improvements. You got to remember that accessibility is a journey, and your page is a simple but powerful step towards building trust with people who rely on inclusive digital experiences. If you wait for everything to be perfect, you risk delaying meaningful access. Starting with transparency and being honest about where you are can have a much greater impact. At the end of the day, an accessibility page isn't just about checking a box for compliance. It's more about showing users that you care enough to listen, respond, and grow. So how can we help? As mentioned previously, we have our accessibility statement generator that can aid in crafting an accessibility statement. However, if you prefer an accessibility specialist to write you up one, we can do that as well. We can also review a statement that you have already created, and that's something we can help you with as well. We've also published several blog posts on how to write an accessibility statement, along with examples of what a strong, effective statement should look like. And we are currently in the midst of building our compliance center. So you're going to keep an eye out for that, as we'll be rolling out in a couple of weeks. Our compliance center will act as a roadmap to compliance. And you can think of it as a checklist. You'll be able to see clearly what's already in place, what still needs attention, and what's coming up next.